The top stories: the Eve of Fiche Chambalala, a traditional New Year's festival celebrated by the people of the Sidama, takes place. And Ministry of Finance and World Bank signed 6 financing agreements amounting $1.72 billion USD. Hello and welcome to EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism, with the latest news highlights of the hour. I am Tabitha John. To stay with us, the second generation of Ethiopian diaspora under second round homecoming arrived at Bole International Airport today. Recall that Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed called on second-generation Ethiopians to reconnect with their ancestral roots and contribute to the nation's vibrant growth. Following the national call, members of the second generation of Ethiopians living in different parts of the world have started coming to their beloved nation. Upon arrival at the Addis Ababa Bole International Airport, members of the second round homecoming of second generation of Ethiopian diaspora were warmly welcomed by Minister of Tourism Nasise Chali, State Minister of Foreign Affairs Burtukan Ayano, and other senior officials. The second round homecoming motto is dubbed "Connect to Your Historical Roots." The call has taken into consideration seasonal breaks and holidays to create favorable conditions and encourage the second generation Ethiopians to come to their homeland. Ethiopia's Ministry of Finance and the World Bank signed 6 financing agreements amounting to $1.72 billion USD in the form of credits and grants for the implementation of 6 projects. The agreements were signed by Minister of Finance Ahmed Shide and Usman Dion, Country Director for Ethiopia, Eritrea, Sudan and South Sudan at the World Bank. The financing will be used for the implementation of 6 projects aimed at driving sustainable development and inclusive growth in the country, according to the Ministry of Finance. Accordingly, the Rural Connectivity to Support Food Security Program is one of the projects that will be executed with a total outlay of $300 million US grants to enhance climate resilient accessibility to food markets and services for target population and strengthen institutional capacity for rural road management. Moreover, there are other projects including second additional financing for the Urban Productive Safety Net and Jobs Project, Phase 2 of the Lowlands Livelihood Resilience Project, Power Sector Reform, Investment and Modernization in Ethiopia Project, and Second Urban Water Supply and Sanitation Project. In business, Ambassador of Ethiopia to Pakistan, Jamal Bakr Abdullah, announced to mobilize another trade delegation of Pakistani businessmen to Ethiopia next month for further strengthening business trade and commercial connections between the two countries. Addressing the business community at Federation of Pakistan Chambers of Commerce and Industry, the ambassador recalled the experiences shared to the first ever trade delegation mobilized by the Ethiopian Embassy in Islamabad last year in March. The ambassador urged all Pakistani businessmen to join the upcoming delegation and contribute to establishing strong trade relations between Pakistan and Ethiopia. In return, Pakistan offers significant trade and investment opportunities in sectors such as manufacturing, agriculture, pharmaceuticals, textiles, and more. The FPPCI President Atif Ikram Sheikh praised Ethiopia's socio-economic development under Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and expressed full support for the Ethiopian Embassy's efforts in mobilizing the upcoming trade delegation.
former King Abba Jafar's palace. He ascended to the throne in 1878, and the whole Jimma region was described in 1897 as one of the 3 richest and most industrial settlements in the region. And that is because this entire area is extremely fertile, and many different trade routes all converged and went in and out of Jimma. We're going to wait for the guide to tell us more. This is the main building, and I know he had constructed several different outbuildings.
The watchtower.
That makes sense. 2 flights up.
Okay, the watchtower for soldiers. It is the for door is coming the enemy the control place.
It's Kafar.
Yeah.
This side is
From north Limmu Gate. North Limmu Gate.
Limugat.
Limmu Gate. Yeah, the Limmu country around for this area.
Welcome back. The Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission announced that armed forces will participate in the national consultation under the rule of law. According to the commission, out of more than 1,300 districts and city administrations mapped for conducting participant identification, 940 are finalizing representative delegation. Briefing the media today, Tebabu Taddese, spokesperson for the commission, said the commission has completed 70% of the participant identification activity. Take a listen.
በመላው ኢትዮጵያ ዜጎች የሚኖሩባቸው ወደ 1300 ገደማ የሚሆኑ ወይም ከዛ ከፍ የሚሉ
More than 1,300 districts and city administrations in each regions have been mapped and representative participants are being identified. In this process, out of the 1,300 districts, 940 of the identified areas are identifying the participants, of which 850 have been fully completed.
የተሳታፊዎች ልየታና በአጀንዳ ግብዓት ማሰባሰቢያ ህዝባዊ መድረኮች ላይ የሚሳተፉ ተወካዮች
The Commission statement indicated that while Afar, Benishangul Gumuz, Addis Ababa, Gambela, Harare, Sidama, South Ethiopia and Southwest Ethiopia have completed, Oromia and Somali regions are on the way to finalize the participation identification process. Responding to the queries raised by the media on issues of including the armed forces, the spokesperson said the following.
በግጭት ውስጥ ያሉ ወገኖቻችን በኮሚሽኑ እምነት አጀንዳዎች አሏቸው ሐሳቦች አሏቸው
Conflicting groups have their own agenda. However, it is important to bring these agendas to the table and participate in the consultation process so that solutions can be found. Therefore, there is no situation and procedure that prevents the armed forces from participating in the consultation. But this will be done in a manner that respects the rule of law.
አንዱ መርህም የህግ የበላይነትንም በጠበቀ መንገድ መካሄድ ስላለበት እዛ አካባቢ ላይ መሰራት ያለባቸው በጣም ብዙ
The eve of Fiche Cembalala, a traditional New Year's festival celebrated by the people of the Sidama, takes place. Thousands of observants from Ethiopia have arrived at Hawassa, one of the biggest and cosmopolitan cities of Ethiopia. The celebration of Fiche festival has been inscribed by UNESCO in 2015 on the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Tigis Sarnisa attended the event. Take a look.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are here in Hawassa, southern biggest cosmopolitan cities of Ethiopia. Today we are here to celebrate Fiche Cembalala, which is New Year for Sidama people. And tens of thousands of people are arriving here in Hawassa. So as you can see it behind me, Hawassa is gearing up for the preparation of the celebration. So we're going to go around the city and show you how it looks like. Do stay with us. Fiche Cembalala celebration in 2015 has been inscribed as one of intangible heritage of UNESCO. Along with the celebration, traditional clothes go hand in hand with it. So right here, traditional weavers are making traditional, very unique clothes. So I'm going to talk to them.
We are preparing traditional clothes that will be used for this festival and also many other occasions. And it can be used by general public as gifts.
Each year, astrologers do determine the correct date for the festival, which is then announced to the general public. Communal activities such as traditional dance and songs do take place while celebrating Fichee Jambalala. Reporting to ABC World, Tigis Sarnisa.
And finally, the former U.S. Special Envoy to the Sahel and Great Lakes regions of Africa stated that international conventional law grants Ethiopia a legitimate right to access to the sea. Ambassador J. Peter Pham suggested that Ethiopia needs to diversify its maritime options to avoid additional costs. Kushumeliso has more.
Ethiopia historically held access to the Red Sea through territories such as the former Ethiopian province of Eritrea. However, following Eritrea's independence in 1993, Ethiopia lost its direct route to the sea, leading to its current landlocked status. This shift reshaped regional dynamics and necessitated Ethiopia to explore alternative trade routes and diplomatic channels for maritime access. Talking to Addis Dialogue program, the former U.S. Special Envoy to the Sahel and Great Lakes region of Africa, J. Peter Pham, said international conventional law grants Ethiopia a legitimate right to access the sea.
Ethiopia is the world's largest and most populous country that is landlocked. You're talking about more than 110 million people, over 1 million square kilometers without access to the sea. And so it's right and natural, as well as within its legal rights, for Ethiopia to pursue access to the sea as a top priority for its economic stability, its strategic and defense, possibilities, and its general, this geopolitical balance of the entire region. It's absolutely essential for Ethiopia to have an access to the sea, and its right to access to the sea, as enshrined in the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which states that landlocked countries do have a right to access the oceans of the world.
Wandimage Taddese, lecturer at Addis Ababa University School of Law, for his part said landlocked countries have a number of rights to access the sea in international law.
Landlocked countries have a number of rights in connection with the seas. There is a freedom of the sea, for example, which is available to all landlocked states as well as coastal states, navigational rights, and so on and so on. And again, in order for landlocked states to exercise the right to and from the seas, they have this transit right, which is crucial for landlocked states' trade, import, export, and so on and so on. One important principle of international law is the right of all states, including landlocked states, to access the sea.
Ethiopia is grappling with a staggering expenditure of $1.6 billion per year on port fees. Currently, more than 90% of Ethiopia's trade is reliant on the ports of Djibouti. Ambassador Peter suggested the need to diversify maritime options to avoid additional expenditure.
The additional cost is a burden to the Ethiopian economy. That's undoubtedly. The estimate is that just in port payments alone, not increased prices because of the bottleneck, but just in port fees alone, Ethiopia is paying over $1.5 billion a year to Djibouti. Now, it's a windfall for Djibouti, but certainly a burden to the Ethiopian economy. Then you add the additional cost of lack of competition and sole source and a bottleneck, and that's all a burden, which makes it more difficult to have business opportunities, which constrain economic growth for a growing population. All things that, by diversifying, it enables Ethiopia to have greater opportunities, not only for faster access to the sea for certain parts of the country, but also to lower prices and an opportunity to build up the economy.
As Ethiopia navigates the currents of economic dependency and maritime rights, the call for diversification rings louder than ever.
You're watching EBC, a reminder of the top stories. The eve of Fiche Chambalala, a traditional New Year's festival celebrated by the people of the Sidama, takes place. And Ministry of Finance and World Bank signed 6 financing agreements amounting 1.7. That's all we had for now. I'm Tabitha John. Bye for now.